Minimum wage. What would happen if we raised minimum wage? So, as a person working in retail, I work for $7.30 an hour, and so probably we might not want to say that the wage gets increased too much, more something around like $1 higher or maybe $2 higher, so 8.30 or 9.30. There's a lot of things that would happen. Definitely a lot of things. More people would be encouraged to show up to work, because if you're going to be paid higher for what you're going to do, then you're obviously going to want to do your job a lot better and a lot more. And by people wanting to do their jobs and wanting to do it well, it's going to increase productivity in a business. So we'll have a lot more businesses putting out better products. Along with increased productivity and better products, the people making the better products are going to be making more money, so there will be less poverty around. The poverty line will change. If you have so many poor people and there's more money introduced into their environment, the amount of poor people is going to go down and down. And hopefully eventually we won't have any poor people. That'll never happen, but we can hope. Increasing minimum wage also would decrease the gap in income between the poor and the wealthy. When a gap this big exists, democratic values can be threatened. If people are worried about how much money they're making and the food they have to put on the table and their children and their families, they're going to be less occupied with our democratic values like voting. And the less people that vote, the worse our country gets, because everybody's got to have a say. One of the only possible downsides to increasing the minimum wage is that small businesses could collapse due to the fact that the sole proprietorship owners may not be able to afford hiring workers to pay them enough, or they might not be able to afford just the business aspect of everything. Graph time! So, we have minimum wages in dollars and workers willing to work. So, if you have a low minimum wage like $7.30, you're going to have less workers willing to work than if you had a little bit of a higher minimum wage like $8.30. You'd have a little bit more workers willing to work, and then if you're all the way up at $9.30, you're going to have a lot of workers willing to work, but you're not going to have enough businesses willing to pay that minimum wage and still being able to survive. So what we want to do is we want to put it at the equilibrium right here, which is somewhere in between $7.30 and $8.30. So if we just raise the minimum wage just a little bit, we should be okay.